Record. So coming back to our today's topic, that is we are supposed to discuss the
Exception manual.
correct. So let me. So what is exception handling in Java basically? Okay. First of all, what is the exception means? So
Something that is
in
not common. Like,
correct,
um,
like you can just you are almost there. Okay. An unexpected event basically.
yeah, yes,
So for example, let's go with some layman terms to understand this. Okay. Like you are listening to the class, correct?
yeah,
Maybe after lunch we fell asleep, correct?
yes,
Actually, the thing is we need to listen to the class completely, but because of that sleep, we got distracted, correct? And we might miss it
yes,
some of the class. The sleep is
yeah,
the unexpected event
exception.
which like caused okay some unexpected event, so we missed the class,
Yeah,
correct? In the
yes,
same way, for example, we are going to, let's say, some tour. Okay, we went on a like our car, let's say, and
yeah,
all of a sudden our car got punctured.
yeah,
Okay, now puncture is the unexpected event. Correct? This is
yes,
called as
yes,
an exception basically.
exception.
So in Java also what happens whenever we write any program, okay, the program has to be completed. Completely, it
Yeah,
should execute all the basically it should execute all the lines of code. Okay, whatever the lines of
yes,
code we write in respect to Java files, that has to be get executed. But because of something, okay, because of some unexpected reason or some unexpected event, some lines will not get executed. That is called as an exception.
yes,
Okay. Now,
yeah.
what is an exception handling means? What is an
Avoiding the exceptions.
exception handling? For example, now let's say tire got punctured. Okay. Now what you will do? For example, in the first case, you got sleep in between, which is an unexpected event, correct? Now what you will do?
Yes,
Basically, we go, we wash our face, okay, and we come back, and again we listen the class, correct?
yes,
So maybe a part of class is missed. That's okay, fine. But
yeah,
rest of the class again you listen, right? Yes or no? Or like
yes,
completely over
yes.
the class,
No, no, only a part.
right? A part.
Yeah,
In the same way, while going to the trip, you need to go from point A to like a destination B. In between, it got punctured. Now, what do? Do you
yeah,
cancel the trip?
no,
No, right? We just
no,
like replace with the Stephanie or whatever we do, and again we continue to our destination. Maybe it got delayed, or like maybe we might miss some of the vacation destination places, but at last you will reach the destination, right? By somehow.
yes, yes,
Understood? That is called
yes.
as exception handling. Exception handling means bypassing, okay, and making sure the code is working properly. Maybe a couple
Okay,
of lines is missed, but we are making sure like it is happened properly.
yeah,
Understood? That is called as exception handling in Java. Okay,
yes,
clear? So
yeah,
now what happens? Like basically, whenever you run any application, okay, what is happening in the backend? Okay, you need to understand. Okay, you need to understand two terminals. What is called as like a normal termination of an application,
okay,
and next one is abnormal termination.
okay,
Okay,
yeah,
abnormal termination, normal termination,
abnormal.
and abnormal termination. So first let's discuss and understand this normal termination. Then later we go for this abnormal termination, what it is. Okay, so whenever we write any Java code, for example, let's have we created one .java file, let's say, and in this like class A is there, and we are having a main method. Inside the main method, I'm calling some yum1 method. Okay.
I can't see a screen. You didn't share it.
Sh- How about now?
Yeah,
So till now, just you are listening to me, right?
yeah. I thought you were just saying like that it was taking time.
No. So this is what I just try to show you pictorially what happened. Okay, it's clear,
Yeah,
right? Basically, like
yes,
so.
yes,
Let's have one .java file with name a.java. Okay, and inside that, like we are having main method, and inside that we are calling m1 method basically. So again, let's
Yeah.
consider we are having m1 method, and inside this m1 method, we call some m2 method. Okay, and we are having m2 method, and inside this m2 method, we are calling the m3 method. Let's consider. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Now what happens is whenever you run the code, okay, what we will do first, we'll compile our .java file, right? Correct.
Yes.
Whenever give this compile the code that is a.java, then a dot class file will get generated for this, like Java C a.java. This is the now compiler will get invoked, and compiler will generate one dot class file from this .java file, basically a dot class. Correct. After that, like whenever we give command like Java a dot class, then what happens? A JVM will get initialized. Correct.
Yes. Yes.
JVM will start, and this JVM will create one main thread basically. Okay. Whenever a main thread, once JVM is started, like it will initialize the memories, correct? Method area memory, then after heap area, then after like once a thread got created, okay, for every thread, it will create one stack area as well.
Okay.
Okay, one stack will be created with respect to every thread. For main thread, one main stack will be there. Okay.
Okay.
Now, after this method calls, for every method call, what it will do is this stack area itself is used to store the method calls. So whatever the
Yes.
methods we are calling, that respective method calls will be stored here. For example, first we call the main method, so main method will be stored. So from main method, what we are doing, we are calling the m1 method, right? I mean, we are having a couple
Yes.
of lines. That couple of lines will be get executed by the interpreter. Then we are calling the m1 method. So now what
M1.
happens? M1 will be stored in the this respective stack area. Okay. That means in the second step, like what happens from main method, it will store the m1 method. Okay, and in m1 method, what we are doing, we are calling the m2 method, right? So main will
Yes.
be there. From main, like we'll be having the m1 method, and in m1 method, we're calling the m2 method. Okay. Next, what we are
Yes.
doing in m2 method, we are calling m3. So the same stack will be again updated to like this. First, main method will be there. Okay, then after like m1 method, then after m2 method, then after m3 method. Okay, now
Yes.
what interpreter will do whatever the lines of code there in this m3 method, that will get execute first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so once all the lines of code is executed, then what it will do, JVM will remove this respective method information from the stack because this method implementation is completed. Okay, now what
Yes.
happens? Stack will be having only main method, then after m1 method and m2 method. M3 method is implementation is completed. Then what happens like in m2, let's consider we are having after m3 also we are having couple of lines of code. These lines will get executed. Okay. Once this execution is also done, then what happens? From stack again, this m2 will be removed. Stack area.
Yeah.
We will be having only main, and after we'll be having the m1 method only. Then the same thing will be for if rest of the lines of code implemented in the m1 method also, then m1 will be also removed from the stack. So we'll be having only main method,
Main
and at
method.
last the lines of code whatever we write in the main method, that is also done. Then this main method will be also removed from the stack. So every method implementation is completed, right? So this stack will
Yes.
be deleted. The stack will be deleted,
The-
and previously the JVM got turned on, right? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Then now JVM will get turned off. It will turn off JVM.
Okay.
This is called as normal termination.
Yeah.
What is normal termination? Like turning on execution of every method, and once every method implementation is done, then later that respective JVM will be get turned off. Okay, which is
Yes.
called as normal termination, basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so that normal termination means like in general you can simply remember as once execution of every line of code is completed, okay, JVM will get turned off. That is called as normal termination. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Now, what is abnormal termination? Abnormal termination means, for example, the same scenario, let's consider. Okay, let me retake this. Okay, now we are having again .java file. Let's consider. So same a.java file. Inside this a.java file, I am having the main method. Okay, inside the main method, I'm calling the m1 method. Okay, and
Yeah.
in the m1 method, like I'm calling m2 method again. So yeah. and in the M2 method, I'm calling the M3 method. Okay.
Yeah.
So far clear?
Yes.
So now what happened is, if you see the pictorial representation, what happens at the last, like while keep on executing, what happens? Like first main method will be added to the, I mean, JVM will get start obviously. Okay,
Yes.
JVM will get start obviously. Then after it will create one
Main
stack, and
method.
inside the stack, main method will be added. Okay. Then after, like it will add the M1 method. Then after
M2.
it will add M2 method, and it will add M3 method respectively. Okay. Now
Yeah.
what happened, like while executing this M2 method, it called M3 method. Inside this M3 method, okay, there are some, let's consider 100 lines of code are there. 100
Yeah.
lines of code are
Lines of
there.
codes.
But after executing 50 lines, now what happened? Some event happened. Okay, for example, they given code as somehow we got an code of 10 by 0.
Yes.
10 divided by 0. Let's consider for an instance. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can we do, I mean, any arithmetic operation with 10 by 0? We
No.
don't do, right? Okay, we cannot. But
Yes.
usually, like in layman terms, we call it as undefined. But JVM does
Yes.
not do it. Okay. So what it will do, as this operation cannot be performed, there itself, it will throw an exception telling arithmetic exception. Okay, cannot divide by 0, like that.
Yes.
Now what happened? Rest of the lines will not get executed. Okay.
Okay.
Without
Yeah.
executing rest of the 50 lines, okay, what JVM will do, this respective method will be removed from the stack.
Okay.
Okay, and what
Yeah.
happens, like let's consider M3 method is being called by M2 method. In this also, before calling M2 method, there are a couple of lines of code, and after calling M3 method also, there are other lines of code. And now because
Yes.
of M3, we got exception, right? Again, rest of the lines of code after this M3 call, that will also get executed in the M2 method.
Okay.
These will be also removed abnormally. I mean, it will be removed forcefully, basically. The
Yeah.
same with the M1 method and same with main method, and JVM will get turn off.
Okay.
This is called as abnormal termination.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Because of one event, okay, here 50 lines of code is not get executed. In the same way, after M3 call, there are lines of code, that line is not executed. And in the M2 also, after calling that M2, we are having some lines of code that is also not executed. And the main method also, they assume there are some lines of code that is also not get executed. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Without executing all the lines in between, if JVM turned off, that is called as abnormal termination, and that happens only because of some unexpected events which it cannot do.
Yeah.
Okay, this is called as an exception.
Okay.
This is called as an exception. Now,
Exception.
because of this, what happens? Okay, all the lines of code is not get executed, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Which is not
Yes.
correct, basically. Which is not correct. Now, what JVM will do here internally, what happens is, as this operation has to be done, okay, then and there itself, this respective method is responsible to create. Which method? From where we got this operation? Sys 10 by 0. From which method it is happened?
M2.
M3,
Okay,
right?
that's M. Okay.
M3. So
Okay.
M3 method is responsible to create an exception object.
Okay.
Internally, it will create an exception object, basically.
Yeah.
Done. So now,
Yes.
Bharat, what happens after creating this exception object means, like it will create exception equal to new exception. It will create. Then after it will create exception dot set stack trace. It will keep one object to that object. So this complete stack information will be there. Then after that, it will throw that respective exception. Throw exception. Okay.
Okay.
Once this keyword comes in picture, throw keyword, then JVM will come and check with that respective method. Okay, hey M3 method, you are trying to perform one operation that is 10 by 0, which is not possible by the interpreter. Interpreter cannot do. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, and because of that, now exception occurred. Now it's your responsibility to handle that exception. Are you handling it or not? Okay,
Yeah.
as of now, we are not handling. So what it will do, I'm so sorry, I cannot execute you further. So I am stopping your execution, and it will remove from the
Yes.
stack. Okay. Next,
Yeah.
who called this M3 method? M2 called, correct? So
Yes.
immediately what JVM will do is it will go to the M2 method and it will cross check with M2 method. What it will do? A M2 method you called M3 method, and because of M3 method there is an operation which cannot be performed. Okay, so like it is not handling anything and I removed it. Now at least you tell me, are you handling it or not?
Okay.
Okay, so if M2 method
Uh,
is also not handling, then what it will do? I'm helpless. Again, I'm removing. Okay, I cannot execute further.
yeah.
Okay, the same thing happen with M1 method as well, and also it will cross check with main method. Okay, it will go and check with main method. Hey, main method, are you handling it or not? Okay, now as of now, we are
Okay.
not handling anything. So who is calling the main method now? JVM itself is calling the main method, correct?
Yes.
Last time we discussed it in clearly, like what happens, like who is calling the main method, like how it is
Yeah.
being configured, public static void, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now as JVM itself is responsible to call the main method, okay, now main method is not handling any exception. Now whose responsibility to handle that exception? It is
J.
JVM's responsibilities, correct?
Yeah.
So by default, even though you handle any exception or not, JVM will handle that exception. How it will handle the
Okay.
exception? It will print some logs. It will print some logs to the console. Okay,
Okay.
how what it will print? Okay, it will print the reason. Reason,
Okay.
I mean, or cause we can consider. Okay, then after description, then after stack trace. This information it will print to the console. Okay, that's how it will handle the exception. Who will handle the
Okay.
exception? JVM
JVM.
will handle that exception by using the default exception handler, which we call it as default exception handler. What this default exception handler will do? It will simply print logs to the console, like
Yeah.
system.out.println, like we will print something, right? In the same way, it
Yes.
will print some logs, but in an error format. Sys out. Okay, instead of OUT, it will print as ERR, system.error. Okay, what
Okay.
it will there? It will be having a reason, then after description, then
Description.
after stack. Okay, so far is it clear? Like what is an
Yes.
exception? What is an exception handling means? Then after what happening? I mean, what is a normal termination and what is abnormal termination?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are clear so far, let's go to the demo and let's observe what happening with this. Then after we'll come back and we'll go further. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me launch Eclipse. Share screen. Yeah. So let's create one more package. So let's go create new package first. That is java.tutorials dot. It is exception handling. Okay. First thing, let's create new class normal termination demo. Normal
Sure.
termination. Then I will call M1 method. As M1 method is not there, so work. Sorry, main start. Main start after sysort. Then okay, then M1 method is not there. Let me create M1 method quickly. In this also, let me add same lines of code. M1 start, M1 end, and let me call M2 method. Let me create the M2 method and copy the content. M2 start, M2 end, which will call the M3 method. Let's add M3 method as well. Right. Sysort M3 implemented and start. Then after sysort 10 by 20, some operations. After So M3. So it's clear, right? Straightforward. We
Yeah.
are having main method inside the main method, like which for our logging purpose, like to check whether every line is executed or not. I just taken logs kind of thing. Okay. Start, end, start, end, start, end. In between, we are calling methods. In the real life, you will be having n number of lines basically. Okay. But I'm just taking
Yes.
very simple thing here. Okay. Now, if I run this application, okay, you need to observe two things here. While running, it will be staged. You can see this red color will be available. After that, you can see the terminated here. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I run this, you can observe the red color over here. So the JVM, that means JVM is turned on. Yeah. Can you see that?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
after that, you can see terminated. Okay. Here it is terminated. But if you see here, what we got, if you observe the logs, main start, which we are like first main method will be there. So what happens in the backend? Whenever you run the application, JVM will get start, correct?
Yes.
As we discussed, first JVM will start. Once this JVM starts, it will create one main thread for us. Okay, once main thread is created, inside the areas, it will create one stack area as well. Okay, one stack.
Yes.
So for every thread, a stack will be created.
Yeah.
Okay. So for entire run while method area and heap area are only one. It will be shared resource, but stack resources it will be for every respective thread. A stack will be new stack will be created that respective thread. Okay. So in multi-thread
Yeah.
is like last time we discussed, right? We can create multiple threads like that. Okay, by using some classes and interface of multi-threading, we can do that. So whenever you create a new thread with respect to the thread, a stack will be get created.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what
Yes.
happens in this? First, we are calling the main method. Okay. So now interpreter will come and execute this main method. What is there in the main method? We are writing main start, correct?
Yes.
So main
Yes.
got printed. Then after what we are doing, we are calling M1 method. So
M1
M1
method.
will be get added to the this respective stack. And inside that M1 method, what we written, we are writing M1
M1
start.
start.
Okay, it got printed. Next, what is the step we are doing? M2 got
M2.
added to that stack. Okay. Next M2 start. Then after we are calling the M3. And inside this
Yes.
M3, what we are doing? First start. Yes or no? M3 start.
Yeah.
Then after we are doing one operation that is 10 by 20.
M1.
So 10 by 20, the value we got as 0 because by default it will take as int value because I said you're right. While performing any arithmetic operation, the resultant data type is max
In
of, okay, int comma, that respective data types, int comma
red.
int. So here
Yes.
10 and 20 all are ints. So basically 10 by 20, it is some 0.5, but the float value
Yes.
0.5 means while storing in int, I cannot store. So I can store only 0 value. That is the reason I got 0 as output here. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after that also we are having one line, right? M3 method end. Okay, this
Yes.
line will get executed, then it will be removed from the stack. Okay, then
Yeah.
after M2, after completion of M2 method implementation, M2 end will be get printed. Okay, then M2 will be removed.
Yes.
Then after M1 end will
Main
be
end.
printed, then M1 will be removed. Okay, then after main end, then main will be removed. As this stack will be closed now, once all the lines of code got executed, so what JVM will do, it will get turned off. Okay, that is called as terminated here, which is called as a normal termination.
Yes.
Understood? Here till
Yeah.
here? Right. Now
Yes.
let's go and check with the abnormal termination. Okay, let's copy the same demo.
Yeah.
Let's not do much changes. Let's take the same demo as it is. Control A, Control C, and let me create new class abnormal termination demo. Termination. Demo. Spelling termination. Uh, Let me copy this and let me remove this. Two lines of code. Okay. So we are having same scenario. We are having main method, inside main method, we are having M1 method. M1 is called M2, M2 is calling M3, and M3 is calling. Okay, instead of 10 by 20, what I will do is I will do 10 divided by 0. Okay, just
Yeah.
a small change. Here, wantedly, I want to show that is the reason I'm doing this, but in the runtime, okay, sometimes it happens like accessing an array, okay, where the respective index is not available like that. Okay, we see array
Yeah.
index out of bounds exception, right? Like that. Okay,
Yes.
now if I run this, run as Java application, again the JVM will get start, so it will be turned on, which you can see as red color here. Then after terminated here.
Yes.
Okay,
Abnormal.
right? But if you see what happened, like we are having main start, then after M1 start, then after M2 start, then after M3 start. Okay. But after that, what it has to do, it has to do this division and it has to print the value to the console, correct?
Yes. Yes.
But while doing that 10 divided by 0, okay, as it cannot perform, what happened in the internally? Like, so if I show you diagrammatically what happens, again, JVM starts. Okay, it creates the main thread. Once main thread got created, it will just create one stack, and inside the stack, it will call M1, sorry, main method. Okay, then like main
And
start,
one method.
then we are calling M1 method. So it got printed M1 method. Then we are
Yeah.
calling M2. So M2 start, then after we're calling M3 method, and inside this M3 method, we are calling M3 start. So it got printed for us successfully. Then later we are performing one action, this line number 27 and 28. Okay, but in the line number 27, can it perform 10 divided by 0?
No.
It cannot. Okay, interpreter cannot do that. That is the reason here an exception object will get created. Okay, what is that exception object? Arithmetic exception object.
Arithmetic expression.
Okay, who will create that exception? This M3 method
JB.
is responsible to M3 method is responsible to create
Okay.
that exception object for us, as it is not able
Yeah.
to do. Okay, I mean
Yeah.
internally, like in this method, okay, we will call as like this called as record, stack record, I think. Okay,
Yeah.
stack record. Inside that, it will store in key value pairs like that. Okay, there is a link between JVM and all this. So internet will create that object, that respective method. Okay,
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Now, then what happens is now we are not handling that exception, arithmetic exception. Okay. So
Yes.
arithmetic exception equal to new exception it will do. Then after it will create e dot set description and all that stuff. Okay. Then after e dot set stack trace like this, it will set that values to that respective method, and at last it will use one keyword called throw exception.
True.
Whenever this throw keyword comes in picture, now JVM has to act for sure. That JVM will come in
Yeah.
picture, and it will cross check with this method. Hey method M3, because of you we got this exception. Are you handling it or not? It's not handling.
Yeah.
So I cannot permit you to execute this next line. What is that next line? 28. It is not
M3 and
permitting. M3
yeah.
end. If you see the console, it is not there. Okay. Then
Yeah.
it will go to M2 method, and inside that M2 method, because M2 method is responsible to call this M3 method, right?
Yeah.
Here. So it will check with the M2 method. Again, JVM will cross check with this M2 method whether it's handling or not. As of now, we are not handling. So it will just not give permission to exit next line. What is that next line? Line number 21. It won't execute
Yes.
M2A. Then after same thing with M1 and same thing with main method. Now who is responsible to call this main method? JVM, right?
JB.
So JVM has to handle that exception for sure, and it is having the default exception handler. And what does the default exception handler will do? It will just print the information to the console. Like if you see, it is like system dot out. It's not out. System dot error basically error dot
Okay.
println. And what does this contains? It contains the that exception information basically. What does it contains? Exception in thread main.
Exception method.
Where we got the exception? Main thread created by
Main
the
thread.
except JVM, right? So inside that
Yes.
main thread, we got the exception. Next, exception
Okay.
information cause. What is the root cause? Root cause is java.long.arithmetic exception.
Yeah.
Okay, why we got that exception? This is called as description. This is called
By
cause.
the
This is reason, description.
description.
Division by 0 is not possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after, to understand from where we got that exception. Okay, to understand that, it will give us the stack trace. So in which line we got? In Java, I mean, it will give class information as well. Abnormal
Yeah.
termination demo.java at line number
27.
27, that exception got occurred basically.
Yes.
Okay. Now who is calling this respective M3 method from line number
Line number
20?
20.
Okay. Where M2 method is calling M3 method.
Yeah.
Okay. Then who is calling this respect to M1, M2 method? M1 method
M1.
in the line 13 of M1 method,
13.
we're calling M2 method. And who is calling
Yes.
M1 method? In line 7,
Main.
okay, main method is being get called. Sorry, main method is calling M1 method. Now who is calling
Yes.
main method? JVM. So JVM handle
J.
that exception, and this is the exception trace for us. Okay,
Yes.
which is printed by default exception handler. Okay,
Yeah.
is that clear so far?
Yes.
Right. Next one is we need to understand. Okay, till here just remind. Then after that we will discuss like as of now it's very clear that it is not a good write because the rest of the lines are not being get executed. Correct?
Executed. Yeah.
Okay. So it's our responsibility to handle the exceptions. Okay. So before
Yes.
that we need to understand exception hierarchy. You need to understand
Okay.
exception hierarchy. Then only we'll
Hierarchy.
be knowing how to handle that respective exceptions and the way to handle that exceptions. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go back to our whiteboard again. Now let's understand exception hierarchy. So in Java, basically, the very first object is throwable. Okay, throwable is the class.
Okay.
Okay, now don't get confused. Okay, because if you, I mean, as of now, you might not aware about, but if you see, we are having couple of .java file names like runnable,
Yes.
serializable. Okay, these able, right, which are ending with able, they are interfaces, but throwable is a class.
Okay.
Okay, just don't get confused. Okay, later, right?
Yes.
And who is
Yes.
the parent for this throwable? Again, by
Java.
default, object java.lang dot object class is the
Object.
parent for this
Yeah.
throwable. Okay, it is also a
Yes.
class, right? Then
Yes.
after the main, it will be having two children to this throwable. One is called as exception class, and another one is error class.
Okay.
Okay, and directly the error is having four children basically. One
Yeah.
is assertion error, then after uh, JVM error, then after threaded and linkage error, linkage error.
There.
Okay. So next one is under exception. It is having multiple subclasses. Okay. But mainly we are having a runtime exception. Okay. And another one is some other things are also there like IO exception, then SQL exception. Okay.
Yes.
So on so far. Then under runtime exception, again, it contains many exceptions like arithmetic exception, just now, which we have seen. Then after, like array index, out of bounds exception, then
Yeah.
string index, out of bounds exception, illegal state exception, illegal argument exception, like this. Okay, many
Yeah.
exceptions are there. Now, Bharat, why you are discussing all this is because out of this, if you see, so these exceptions, okay, like runtime exception and its subclasses. Okay,
Yeah.
runtime exception and its subclasses, that means its children, and error and its
Yes.
subclasses are called as unchecked exceptions. What they are?
Okay. Unchecked expressions.
Unchecked exceptions. They need not to be handled with basically. Okay,
Okay.
I will tell that. Then after that, rest of the things, exception and its subclasses. Okay, in IO exception, again, we are having class not found exception, then after file not found exception. Okay, all the
Okay.
streams, IO means, okay, all
Yeah.
these, then SQL exception, connection, SQL timeout. Okay, then after syntax issues, all that exceptions are, okay, I mean, rest of the things, apart from this runtime and its subclasses, error and its subclasses, whatever the rest of things are there, right? Throwable, exception, and its other subclasses. They're called
Yeah.
as checked
Checked
exceptions.
expression.
Checked
Ex-
exceptions. Right. Now, in Java, okay, it is developer responsibility to handle the exceptions basically. Okay. Now, basically, like whatever you see under this exception, these can be handled by the developer.
Yeah,
It can be handled by the developer or a
definitely.
programmer. But whatever that errors we are getting, right? These errors cannot be handled by the developer because they mainly occur when there are some issues with the memory. For example, assertion
Okay.
error. Let's consider this. Assertion error means, for example, there is one keyword called asset keyword. In asset keyword, we will give one condition. If that condition is true, then only it has to execute. Else, it should not execute. Like that, we'll be doing. Okay. Then we'll
Yeah.
get some. If that condition is failed, then we'll get the assertion errors, which cannot be
Okay.
handled by us. Okay.
Yeah.
Then linkage error. For example, if you see like the JVM components, correct? On the very first day or second day, it seems like we taken the JVM components. Do you remember in high level what are the components it having?
Yeah.
Class loader subsystem, correct?
Yes.
Memory,
Mem-
allocator, then after
date-
execution engine,
date.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So inside this, we are having again loader, linking, verify. Three things will be there. I mean, it will load the
Yes.
dot class file that is will be done by loader. Then linking. What does this linking will do? It will check the static fields and static variables, and it will cross check that respective. What do we think? I mean, once the classes get loaded, it will be having some the syntax, right? Whether the
Yeah.
bytecode is correct or not, all that stuff. Okay, which can be done that while loading. If we get an error, like for example, main method is not there, then it will give some linkage error. Main method not found error. No definition found error. We have seen that, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
let's say like in JVM error, like again we'll get as some out of memory error or assertion error. Like this verification is wrong. Byte code is there, that byte code is not compiled correctly. Then these kind of
Yes.
errors, we cannot do that. Okay. We cannot handle that
Yeah.
basically. Okay. So
Yes.
it's developer cannot involve in that. The only place where developer can involve in is like either this exception or its classes, basically subclasses. The only this part developer can involve. For example,
Yes.
like while calling, okay, if I get some Stack Overflow error, what does Stack
Yeah.
Overflow means? For example, I am calling M1 method. Okay, I'm having main method. Let's consider this scenario. Inside this main method, I'm calling M1 method. Okay.
Yeah.
And in my M1 method, without knowingly, again, I'm calling same M1 method.
Yes.
Now what happens if we show this diagrammatical representation? This is our stack, correct?
Yeah.
Inside this stack, first main method got called, correct?
Yeah.
Then what main method is calling? It is calling the M1 method.
M1.
Now what M1 method is doing? Again, it's calling the M1 method.
M1
And
method.
I mean, in the M1 method, before and after some lines of code are there, but in between again M1 is called. Okay, like this.
Yes.
So now what
Yes.
happens? Again, it will call M1 method. Again, it will call M1 method. It
M1.
keeps on calling
M1.
the M1 method, M1, 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 M1. Correct? At
Yes.
some
Yes.
certain point of time, it is not that entire memory will be given to stack only, right? Yes or no? Only
Yes.
a
Yes.
portion of memory will be given to the stack. Stack will be filled. This completely
Yeah.
it will get filled. Then we'll get as Stack Overflow error. Stack Overflow error. Now this
Yes.
it cannot be resolved. This is because it is a memory issue. What developer can do with
Yes.
this memory issue? Understood.
Nothing.
In the same
Yeah.
way, like we'll get heap issues, heap out of memory, out of memory issues. For example, if you keep
Yes.
on creating the objects, okay, like in a for loop or in a while loop, the objects got created and the reference is not getting deleted, then what happens? Heap area will get filled.
Yes.
Then we'll get as out of memory error. What developer
Yeah.
can do?
You
Of
can.
course, like because of developer only we got that issue because he
Yeah.
properly not
Right.
like used
You
the
didn't write it.
objects.
Yeah.
Okay, that is different part. But if we get some memory issues, then we cannot do that. For example, my computer itself is having 100 MB data or 100
Yeah.
MB memory. Okay, out of
Yes.
this, I allocated only 10 MB for Java JRE. Then what happens? Can I run application with this 10 MB? No, it's not
No.
possible, right? Mostly.
Yes.
Understood? You're getting my point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So under these, whatever the errors we got, in that mostly there won't be involvement of developer to handle that cases. Okay.
Yeah.
But only thing where you can handle is exception. And out of these, like exceptions, like as I said you clearly, we are having unchecked exception and checked exception. Unchecked
Yes.
exceptions, okay. and checked exceptions. Now, what is the definition of unchecked exception and checked exception? Okay, mostly some people will tell us checked exception is an exception which occur at runtime, compile time, and unchecked exception is exception which which occurs at runtime. They will say, okay,
Yeah.
but all exception will occur at runtime itself. No exception is going to occur at the compile time, because
Compiling.
when exception will occur after
Yeah.
stack has to be filled, yes or no? Then
Yes.
method has to be get implemented. While implementing that respective method, we'll get that exception. Correct?
Yes.
Now, while compile time, any method execution will happen?
No.
No, right? At runtime only,
No.
right? It will happen. Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
very clearly keep in mind, okay, all exceptions will occur at runtime only.
Runtime. Yes.
Okay, there is no chance to get exception at compile time.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
Right. Now, Bharat, then why they differentiated unchecked exception and checked exception? What is the major difference means? For example, I will give you one scenario. What is that scenario? So you, okay, with your friends, like in the year, let's say 2020, this is 2025, okay? You plan for a trip to go to Goa.
Yeah.
Okay, let's consider that. Now what happens, like while going in between, the fuel got empty.
Yeah.
Okay, you struggled a lot. At least like overnight, your journey you're doing, in between of the journey, the fuel got empty. There are no gas stations nearby.
Yeah.
Okay, you struggled a lot, but finally you got the that respective fuel and you went to Goa. This is happening in
Yeah.
2025. Next, 2026. Same scenario, you are going to Goa by car, and in between somehow it got like fuel got empty. Now you got struggled
Yes.
overnight, and but somehow you managed to get the fuel. Now,
Yeah.
what you do in 2027 again if you have to go to Goa?
I'll take precautions.
Correct. You will take the precautions, right? So
Yeah.
what you do, as you know, inside that road, there are no fuel stations nearby. So better to carry
Yeah.
one spare fuel with you. So if fuel got empty,
Yes.
then you can refill it. This is what we'll do, right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
One case. In
Yeah.
the same way, for example, you are giving examinations now, like two exams, let's consider.
Yeah.
Okay. But somehow while going to the examination hall, you forgot the hall ticket.
Okay.
Now what happens? You are not allowed to write the exam, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you usually do, you will cry, but they don't allow because they will be having strict rules. Without hall ticket, you cannot enter. You lost
Yeah.
the examination. Again, like you
Yes.
given next semester, you are going to give the examination. This time, what you will do before going to the exam hall? You will make
I
sure you are
take
having
my
this
hall
hall ticket,
ticket with.
right? You will
Yes.
cross check, right, whether hall ticket is there or not, because
Yes.
it happened previously, which hit you a lot. Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
In the same way, like in the previous case, you are because of some frequent issues, you are carrying the fuel. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Here also,
Yeah.
because of some issue, you are cross-checking that hall ticket is there or not. Yes
Yeah.
or no? In the same
Yes.
way, while working in Java, there are some cases. Okay, there are some cases. Definitely, an exception might occur.
Okay.
For example, Bharat, what is that case means? Now, in my program, okay, I'm trying to connect to one resource. What is that
Yeah.
resource? Maybe I'm trying to read one existing file. I am having some abc.txt file. I want to read the data of this txt file. So
Yes.
what happens while loading? You're writing the code, right? As a developer, you just write the code. That file can be there or that file cannot be there. Any chance will be there, right? Yes or
Yeah.
no? So now this file might not be there while reading. Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
whatever the lines of code you've written, compiler will detect. Okay, Bharat, you are trying to load this respective file. Maybe that file not be available.
Yes.
The compiler can detect based on our code, and it will
Yeah.
warn us. Okay, try to handle the exception. What is that exception? If that respective file is not there, then what I have to do? Just give the
Okay.
code to me, alternative code. Who will
Yeah.
detect? Compiler will detect. Like
Compiling.
previously, you are just cross-checking this fuel is there or not, and as well as hall ticket is there or not. In the same way,
Yeah.
whatever the frequent code will write, okay, like maybe loading the resource, or maybe connecting to some SQL connection. Okay, that respective URL might be wrong, or maybe a password is wrong, whatever it is wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
if I'm not able to connect, then what I have to do? Okay, like that, it will cross-check previously itself, and it will give warning to us. Okay, Bharat, try to
Yes.
handle this situation. Bharat, you are dealing with the files. You might get file not found exception.
Yeah.
Okay, or else programmatically, I will try to load a class. For example, this is my Java application where I'm having some code .java file. Inside this .java file in my library, I mean, I added one jar file. From this jar file, I want to load one class. That jar file might be there, might not be there. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So what compiler will do? Hey, Bharat, you're trying to load one file. There might be chance not having that respective file. So do something. If I not there, I need to handle that exception like that.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
So the definition of checked exceptions is an exception which can be checked by the compiler without
Okay.
producing it. Without
Okay.
producing it, that is called
Producing.
as a checked exception.
Yes.
Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Right. Now, what is unchecked exception? Unchecked exception is opposite to checked exception. It cannot be checked by the compiler at
Checked
all.
by the compiler. Yeah.
Okay, because it doesn't know. Because like who knows? For example, here by seeing the code, you're writing sysout 10 by 0, correct? But in the real
Yes.
life, what it will do? For example, like I created one array, okay, and I'm trying to access one index. Based on one index, I'm accessing one element. Okay. Till
Yeah.
runtime, does this memory get created? No, right?
No. No.
Yes or no? At the runtime only the
Yeah.
memory will be created. At the runtime only we'll be accessing that respective index. Who knows whether that is will happen or not? Compiler cannot
Yeah.
detect. Okay, that is
Yeah.
called as unchecked exception, basically. Clear?
Yeah.
So all the checked exceptions in Java, that is what is according to hierarchy, we are having throwable. Under throwable, we are having exception. Okay, and error. And under exception, we are having runtime exception. And there are directly subclasses like SQL, IO exceptions. Okay. Now, this one, rest of unchecked exceptions like runtime and its subclasses, error and its subclasses, rest are there, right? Like let's consider
Yeah.
this throwable maybe, let's consider this exception maybe, or SQL exception, IO exception, all this has to be handled for sure. This has to be handled for sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Else it will give compilation error. But you might ask, Bharat, what happens if I don't handle? Compiler clearly it will give like Bharat, you need to handle. If you don't handle while compiling the class itself, it will give compilation error. If you give Java
Yeah.
C, then you will get compilation error. That respective code has to be handled like that.
Yes.
Okay. At the combine Java C, if I give a.java, there itself you will get an compilation error. The code won't get compiled. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Clear? Now,
Yeah.
Bharat, how to handle exception in Java? Okay, the only way, to handle exceptions in Java is by using try-catch blocks.
Yeah.
Okay, try and catch blocks. Then, Bharat, what is this try-catch? What is the syntax of this? Let's understand. Okay, so to understand this in great detail, let's go separately create this. Try. This is called as what are the lines of code within these curly braces, which is called as try block.
Right.
Like if block, for block, method block, we are having, right? It is called as
Yeah.
try block.
Try block.
Then after try should be immediately followed by the catch. Like if should be, excuse me. If should be immediately followed by else, right? That's optional. But try should be immediately followed by the catch. That is for
Catch.
sure. There is no
Yeah.
exception for this. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
here you will be passing what type of exception it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this is called as catch block.
Yeah.
This is the only way where you can handle exceptions. So what we will do, whatever the risky code, maybe connecting, for example, I'm having code to connect to a file. Okay, this is
Yeah.
risky code, right? I will write in the try
Yes.
block. Maybe if I want to connect to the database, this is the risky code. I will be writing in the try block. Okay. Maybe I'm trying to load one dot class file. Okay, dot class file. If that respective file not be there, then that is a risky. So that risky code I will be writing in this try block. So this try
Yeah.
block is used to write the risky code.
Yes.
Okay, whatever the risky
Yeah.
code, that respective risky code has to be written in the try block.
Try block.
Okay. Now, what happens once you write the risky code in the try block? If that respective file is there, then what happens? It will execute properly. Okay, it
Yeah.
will execute properly. But if that respective file is not there, then and there exception will occur. Again, exception object will get created, but it will bypass it to the catch block.
Catch. Yeah.
So here we will be writing the alternative code or bypass code. What has to be done here?
Yes.
Then after, again, rest of the lines of code will be executed after that respective catch block.
Okay.
Okay, so if I convert this into normal code or a pseudo code, for an instance, let's consider I'm having M1 method. Okay, I mean main method is also there. Main method I'm calling this M1 method.
Yeah.
So I'm having a couple of lines of code. Then after I'm having one risky code. So that risky code I'm writing in the try block. In this,
Try.
what I'm doing, I'm trying to load one dot class file which is there in the class path. Okay, maybe a string class consider. Okay, for a while.
Yes.
Okay, so that respect to loading the class. Yeah. So, risky code, what is that? Load. Okay. Class dot for name. I will give fully qualified name like java dot lang dot string. Okay. So it will
Yes.
try to load this class. So if after loading, what I will do, I will get class dot get number of methods like that. I will just get the methods information by using that class methods. Then after I
Yes.
will write some lines of code. Then after immediately I will write catch block. If that respective class is not there, then what happens? It will throw class not found
That's
exception.
not good.
Okay. If you get class not found exception, what you need to do? You simply write some lines of code what you have to do. Then after that try
Yeah.
and catch block, rest of the lines of code I will write for the main method. Then I will close the method board. Okay.
Yes.
So, Bharat, how does the flows goes now? The flows goes this way. Now, the main or whatever the method which is calling M1 method, first it will execute these lines of code correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. Once these lines of code got executed, then it will go to try block. Then if
Try
this
block.
class is available, then it will execute complete try block. It will skip the catch block and it will execute the rest of the lines of code. That is these lines.
Yes.
Okay. Now what
Yes.
happens? For example, in try block, while loading the class, that respective class.class file is not available.
Not.
This
Yeah.
class is not available. Then what happens? There I will get the exception. Okay.
Yes.
So after that, I'm having couple of lines of code, right? This one,
Yes.
it won't get executed.
Okay.
Then directly it will, that
Go
once I
to
get the exception, directly it will go to the catch block.
catch block.
Okay. And it will cross check whether whatever the exception you are handling, is that exception same or different. Then
Yeah.
only it will enter the catch block. If that is not there, then it will JVM will consider as okay, you're not, even though you write the try catch, it will consider as you're not handling the exception. For example, if I
Okay.
get class not found exception, I need to handle class not found exception itself. For example,
Okay.
if I write arithmetic exception here, even though you write try catch block, that doesn't mean like you are handling the exception.
Error is yeah.
Okay, that is different, right? Okay,
Yes.
so JVM will consider as okay, Bharat, you are not handling the exception, so it will again abnormally terminate that M1 method. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what are the
Yes.
lines of code we write in this respective catch block that will get executed, and after that, rest of the lines, what are there, that will get executed for us. Understood?
Yes. Yes.
Both the cases.
Yeah.
So till here, let's convert it to the demo, and after that,
Yeah.
there are a couple of cases for us, like try with multiple catch blocks. Okay. Then
Yeah.
in that case, what happens? And there in checked exceptions also, we are having fully checked exception, partially checked exception. Okay, we'll discuss that. And we're also having finally keyword that to be discussed. Okay, that mostly tomorrow I will discuss. But as of now, whatever the things we discussed, the exception hierarchy. Okay. Then after like a checked exception and unchecked exception, I how to handle the exceptions basically. This
Yes.
risky code part, I will explain. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to demo. So try catch demo. Class try catch demo. Yeah, again try and catcher both are considered as keywords. Okay,
Yes.
so let me call M1 method. It's not mandatory, but just for our understanding, I'm writing this. Okay, sys out main start, because in the real-time application we won't be having directly one single class, right? We will be having
Yeah.
different classes, different packages as well sometimes.
Yes.
So let me create this M1 method quickly, and inside this M1 method, let me write sys out main method. So M1 start, my bad. M1 start. Then after, let's write sys out M1 aim. Okay. In between, let's write one code. What is that? Sysout 10 by 0. Okay.
Yes.
By looking itself, we can tell 10 divided by 0 will get the runtime exception. As a
Yes.
developer, we know that, but compiler
Yeah.
does not know, right? What is the value of 10
Yes.
after dividing what it will do? Because the division will be performing only at the runtime, not at the compile time. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
called as unchecked exception. Okay. So
Yes.
compiler will not do anything here. But the same, instead of this, what I will do, unchecked exception, let's say. Unchecked exception.
Exception.
So if I write that, what happens, then definitely I will get the one exception at the runtime. Like previously I shown you, right? As we are not handling this exception, then JVM will handle the exception. Same, we'll get that exception occurred at main thread at method M1 line number 15 like that. Okay, can you see that?
Yes. Yes.
In try catch
Yes.
demo Java 15, we got that error because it cannot be detected by the compiler. Now, what I will do instead of this, if I try to load one class, okay, in java.lang.class, as I said, right, there is a java.lang package which we need to discuss it. There is one class called, the name of the class itself is a class.
Okay.
Okay, the name of the class itself is class.
Yeah.
Inside that class, I'm having one method called forName, which is a static method basically. Okay.
Okay.
So as it is a static method, or we can access directly with the help of class name, we can access, right?
Class
So
name.
with the help
Yes.
of class name, I'm calling that. And what it will do basically, this forName method will be loading that respective class. For example, if I keep here java.lang.string, let's say, okay,
Yeah.
then it will load that respective class at the runtime for us.
Yes.
But I said you right, this is the chance for, okay, their class might be there or not there. Now compiler
Not.
is giving some compilation error. So if you don't
Yeah.
handle and if you directly run this, what happens? Directly you will get as compilation error. It should be handled like that.
Yes.
We won't get any exception, but we'll get the compilation error, unhandled exception. Can you see that java.lang error? Like telling
Yeah.
unresolved compilation error.
Yeah.
What it is telling, there might be chance of class not found exception that should be handled. We got as compilation error. Like while Java C itself, it won't compile.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, cool. Now, but to resolve this, what to do? I said you right, to handle the exception, there is
Right.
only one way, that is by using try catch plot.
Right.
So whatever the risky code, now what is this line number 7 is risky, so we need to
Yeah.
keep in the try block. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if I write try, is that enough? No, it's not
No.
enough. Again, we'll
Catch
get the
block.
compilation error. Why? Because try should
Yes.
be immediately followed by either catch block or finally block. But
Catch.
as of now, just remember catch block. Okay. It can be either finally also it can be any of that. Either try,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
catch or like finally, but as of now, just remember try should be immediately followed by the catch block. Okay.
Yes.
Then what it should be do according to the syntax, we need to pass here what type of exception it is. For example, in our
Yes.
case, it is
Class
uh,
not.
class not
Function.
found exception. Class not found exception. Exception. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after, like we can write sysout. In this exception class, we are having couple of methods like exception dot get message.
Yeah.
Okay. Control Shift F dot get message. So it will give the message for us. Or if you want to get the stack trace, you can get the stack trace, whatever it is. But now, like what I will do, class equal to, or class string class equal to, my word. I should not use that as the keyword, right? Because class itself is
Yeah.
a keyword. I cannot use as the variable. Now, I will just try to get the methods basically. String class dot, it will load that information in the method area. From that method area, I'm getting get constructors, let's say. Okay, you know,
Okay.
right, what are constructors?
Yes.
So constructors is initialize the object. Okay, it is
Yeah.
basically to create the object and to initialize the object. Get
Yes.
constructors. So it is giving us some list of, I mean, array of constructors. Let's store them. Constructor array. Constructor array. Constructors. Yes. Constructors equal to import constructor class java.lang.reflect. Control Shift F. Now, for each constructor in I equal to 0, I less than constructor slot length I plus plus, just print that constructors. This out, whatever the constructor we are having, constructors of I. Okay, I mean, just I'm printing. I want to just show you some code in try block. Okay.
Yeah.
Then this out. Try block start. Then at the end, I will write as try block end. Side catch also. This out. Catch block start. After our logic, sits out catch block end. Catch block. Yeah. So first let's summarize what we have done here. So we just taken one main method. Inside that, like we are calling M1 method, and in the M1 method we are having try block. Inside the try block we are loading the class. Okay. After loading the class, this respective class will be available in the method area. So from that, by using the java.lang.reflect package, I am printing the that respective class constructors. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then after like this logic, I'm just trying to print the each constructor, and after that, end of try block. Then after, if
Yes.
any exception occurs, it will go to the that exception block, and it will give us some exception. Okay. I mean, it
Yes.
will
Yes.
if any exception occurs, it will go to the catch block, and after that, it will come to the line number 31 basically. Okay. M1 method end. So if I run this now, run as Java application, you can clearly see a normal termination here.
Yeah.
So M1 start. I mean, main method start, then after M1 start, then after try
Yeah.
block start, these are the constructors. Constructor with
Yeah.
string builder, constructor with byte array, constructor
Yeah.
with like byte array again. Okay, constructor with char set, constructor with like byte array and int command, constructor with byte array, constructor with string buffer, constructor with char array, normal string object and string object byte array with int, that is index. Okay, then byte array with start index, end index, like that. Okay, then after like constructor with int array, int array and int. These are all overloaded constructors. Okay, I think
Yes.
around 13 constructors will be there in the string class. Okay, in detail
Yeah.
we will discuss them while discussing java.lang.string class. But as of now, everything worked fine. And end of try
Yes.
block. And if you see here, it is not went into the catch block.
Catch. Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't got any lines of code which we written in the catch block. This one,
Yes.
catch end. Directly it will printed M1 end, then after main method end. Okay, because this
Yes.
respective class is available. Now what I will do, instead of this java.lang.string, instead of string class, I will make it as Mununalini. Now tell me, in our like class path, do we have any class with name Mununalini?
No.
No, right, we don't have, right? So now what
Yeah.
happens while loading the class, we'll get, hey Bharat, you're trying to load one class with name Mununalini, that respective class is not available. At the line number 20
Yes.
itself, we'll get that exception. So what happens if we get that exception? Let's see that directly it will go into this catch block. Okay,
Yes.
right, run as Java application. Proceed. Now if you see what we got, main start, M1 start, try block start. Okay, then after catch block start.
Yeah.
Catch block end is not printed. Okay,
Yes.
why?
Yeah.
Because at the line number 20 itself, we got the exception.
No,
So
catch
from,
block end is printed.
yeah, because that complete catch block will get executed, right?
Okay. Try block
So,
end is not.
so here what happens is,
Yeah.
like, first we got exception here, right?
Yes.
Where we got in the line number 20, we got the
28.
exception. So what many people will think is, okay, at the line number 20, we got the exception. As we are writing this catch block, okay, it will go to the catch block, it will print, and again it will go to the line number 21.
Yeah.
Like that, some people will think, okay, don't think like that.
Yes.
Why? Because interpreter will go in only one direction.
Yeah.
It cannot go in backward direction or like randomly it cannot go. Okay.
Yes.
It will go only in one direction. So in our case, at line number 20, what happened? At line number 20, we got the exception.
Yes.
While loading this java.lang.null itself, okay, class.forName, this method will throw an exception, that is class not found exception. Internally, what happens? As that class is not available, it will create this CNF object, I mean class not found object. Then it will set CNF dot set description. Then after CNF dot set tag stack trace. Then after throw CNF.
Yeah.
Okay, internally it will happen. Now what happens? Once exception occur, whenever this throw it keyword comes, JVM will come in picture and JVM will cross check. Hey Bharat, I mean AM1 method, are you handling this exception or not? CNF exception occurred. Then it will check, yes, catch block is there, and in catch block what we're handling? We're handling class not found
Class
exception itself, that
not
is
found.
CNF. So JVM is happy. It won't tell anything. Okay, now it will give control to interpreter. Interpreter, now you go to the catch block.
Yeah.
Then directly interpreter will go to catch block, and what are the lines of code we write in the catch block that will get executed, and it will come out of the try catch block, and what are the lines of code, I mean method end is get printed, the end of then main end will get
Main.
printed. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
from whatever the line that exception occurs, okay, from there itself directly it will jump to the catch block, and again
Yeah.
it won't go in reverse way, it will just go in a
Yes.
forward direction. That's it.
Yes.
Understood?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
The behavior of try catch and how the code flow works with try catch.
Yes.
Or any questions in this?
No.
Cool,
I'm
great.
clear.
Yes, this is all about the try catch usage and how to handle the exceptions. Okay, tomorrow we'll
Yeah.
understand what is like a fully checked exception, what is partially checked exception. Okay, then after like a try with multiple catch blocks. Okay, the order of catch blocks, all these things we'll discuss. And after that, we'll discuss finally. And there is one more Java 7 feature that is called as try with resource. Okay, we'll discuss that
Yeah.
as well. Later, we'll discuss the customized exceptions, like as a developer, okay, while working with our application, for example. Okay, let's say you are having ATM, you entered incorrect PIN. Okay, that is
Yeah.
incorrect PIN exception, or else like money not found exception, or money insufficient
Yes.
money exception, like that we need to create. So we need to create them. I will let you know how to create that customized exceptions. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
to summarize today's class, what we have discussed, uh, my bad. Yeah, is my screen visible now?
Yes.
So we just started with the first as like Git. We just started with the Git commands, like how to
Yes.
clone. Okay, then after
Yeah.
like where it is, bro. Give me some time. Right. So we just understood what are Git operations basically. Okay. So
Yeah.
what exactly happens in the real time, right? Basically
Yes.
when how developers work, all this stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
We just understood like what is a git version control, then after like some git clone command to get the code into our local machine, then after working, okay, to push the code into the respective branches and raising the PR, pull operation, push operation, merge operation. Okay,
Yes.
so these are like used in the real time basically. Okay, like while working with multiple developers with in the agile methodology basically, and it
Yeah.
is like used to basically to store the code, that's it, nothing much. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after like we just come to our Java topic, that is exception concept, and we just understood what is an exception means. Okay, unexpected event which disrupts the flow. Then after what is an exception handling, doing bypassing that action. Okay, we taken some
Yeah.
examples like in class, sleep is exception. Okay, while going to a place, a puncture is an exception. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do some bypass in the same way while working with the code. Okay, we might get some exceptions that need to be handled. Okay,
Yes.
and we understood what is normal termination and what is abnormal termination. Okay, what happens like when we try to run a Java program, it will JVM will get start, it will create the main thread, it will create a stack, and it will load all the methods. Okay, once every method execution is completed, it will keep on removing that respective method, and stack will be closed. Then after thread will be stopped and JVM will turn off. This is called as normal termination. But while
Yes.
working, if we get any kind of if some certain operation cannot be done, then that is called as abnormal termination. And without execution of another lines, JVM will abnormally terminate. I mean, abnormally it will remove the methods from the stack area. Okay, and it will
Yes.
JVM will get turned off by printing some error to the console. That is called as default exception handler. Then after we
Yeah.
discussed the exception hierarchy. Okay,
Yes.
Like we are having throwable class, under throwable class, we are having exception, and then next one is error. Okay, error and its subclasses, and runtime and its subclasses, which are called as unchecked exceptions, which we cannot, I mean, error cannot be resolved, only exception part can be resolved. Okay, and under this runtime and its subclasses, and error is called as unchecked exceptions basically. Rest of the things are called as checked exceptions. So all the checked exceptions has to be handled. In these errors,
Yes.
like we just seeing like what is stack overflow error. Okay, out of memory error. I make you understand. If you want a demo, okay, just we can see stack overflow error demo tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Then after we just understood what is a try catch block basically. Okay, what is checked
Yes.
exception and checked exception. After that, checked exception has to be handled, and the only way to handle the exceptions is by using the try catch. Okay,
Yeah.
we have seen that.
Yes.
Done.
Yeah.
So that's for today. From again, let's connect tomorrow and we'll discuss the rest of the topics. If you have any questions in today's topic, let me know. We can discuss them.
No, like I'm